Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Friday night. I just finished up my work week a couple of hours ago, and I've spent the last hour breaking down a scene for a casting director workshop that I'm going to take on Sunday. And basically, I've been procrastinating because I'm utterly exhausted. And so I got all cognitive and started thinking about, well, what is it that is keeping me going? What is it that I just feel like I have now, maybe that I didn't have before? And I figured I'd put some makeup on and get on a video and share with whomever watches this video. And so one of the main things I think that you need is love. I mentioned it like 2 seconds ago, but I do think if you want to pursue a professional career as an actor, a dancer, an artist, you definitely have to have the love. A great example is it's like I just finished my work week. I work a 40-hour work week. When I go to break down scenes or do something that involves my craft and acting, it's basically like my second job. I wake up sometimes at 5 a.m. to break down a scene for an audition. I do it on my lunch. I do it after work. I try to like make time for like maybe 2 to 4 hours, if not more, every weekday. And if obviously life does happen, so I try to also get it in during the weekend. And that just, yeah, I don't think you can do that, especially when you're not making money, unless you just definitely need love. You need passion for it. And I think it's important. I think the second thing that is very important is you need money. You need money. But you need money for everything, but you definitely money to continuously grow in this field. And unless you're rich, which some people are, I have some friends whose parents pay for everything, and I'm totally jealous of that. And it's a blessing for them. But I think you need money if you decide that you want to move to a major city. I would definitely recommend that you try to get a job as soon as possible. And if you can get a flexible job, all the better. But the reason you'll need money is you need money to pay for classes. You need money to pay for marketing materials. I'm so fidgety, I'm sorry. You'll need money to pay for transportation, for rent, especially if you move out to a new city. All those things add up, and all those things can go very quickly if you don't have consistent income coming in. I would also suggest having a savings just in case, maybe you book some job and you have to take off from work, and I don't know, sometimes things for some of these jobs, you don't make as much money as you think when you're first starting off. Money is a good thing to have as an artist, I think, in any field. And once again, I've done the struggling artist thing. And another example I'll give is when I was doing it as a dancer, it was very hard, and it was hard for me to expand in my craft because I was always going from gig to gig to gig, and I was so worried about the next gig and how I could pay a bill. And with that being said, I was always lagging in my bills. I didn't have the head space to think about oh, well, how am I going to craft this out, and how can I do this and do that? I just wasn't in the headspace at the time. So it works for some people maybe, but it definitely didn't work for me. The third thing that I think you will need is skills. And by skills, I mean training. Once you make all that good money, or you get a hold of some money, it would be very wise for you to take acting classes. Some examples of that are a technique class. In LA, Meisner is a big thing. There's also Stella Adler Studio. There's many different techniques. Commercial workshops are always great. Audition classes, you'll be auditioning a lot more than you'll be booking. So audition classes are also a necessity, which some people are really good at it. I wasn't, and I put a lot of time and money into taking audition classes. And I'm also not one of those people who thinks that once you take one class, you should be done. I think some people are really good at that. I'm not one of those. So I'm always trying to improve my skills in my acting. And I'm also a martial artist and a dancer, and dance. And yeah, I'm also trying to add new skills. So I definitely do think it's important if you want to become a competitive person in this industry, especially if you're going someplace like LA or New York or Chicago. The fourth thing I definitely think you need is discipline. I live in Los Angeles, and I'll say when I first moved here, I got all kinds of diverted like with just there's so many things going on. There's always some like fun restaurant. There's always things to do, especially if you're around a lot of artists. Like one thing I learned about like artists, no matter if they're a dancer or an actor, they always want to put their hands in everything, and I think you can easily like spread yourself thin. So I really had to really like just sit down and like really think about the things that were important to me. And I created a schedule for myself. I do things like wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to exercise, and then maybe read or read a technique book or read some sort of acting book. And then I go to work. And then sometimes on my lunch break, I try to do more things. And then after work, I do make time for friends and family and self-care because obviously that's important. But even though sometimes it's really hard, you have to be disciplined. Like, you just have to. And I think the last thing you need is just patience. When I first started off in the entertainment industry, I just thought like I feel like a lot of young people, I thought like, man, like after like 2 months, I'm gonna get like this gig and I'll be making money and da 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 da. And yeah, that did not happen. And then I quit. And then I started seeing other people and how they develop their craft and like the process that it takes. And yeah, I saw it, and I knew this was something that I loved, and I was willing to do it. And I knew that I had to fall in love with the process. I know that sounds so cliche, but yeah, I really enjoy the process, especially when I get into a class with a great teacher and stuff like that. I've really just learned how to enjoy like my improvement and just, collaborating with people and stuff like that. And it takes patience. I have a lot of friends who are doing really well in this industry, and it didn't happen overnight. So, but yeah, patience is always a good thing also in all aspects of life. So that's pretty much all the things that I could think of. I'm more than sure there are way more when it comes to any type acting and dancing and any type of craft. But I think those are some of the ones that I could think of at the moment. What I'll do is I'm going to put some information, like a little time management sheet at the bottom that helps me, and I got it from Backstage. Backstage is also a good resource. And I'll also put a link to the Hollywood Winner Circle. I've used that, and I think it's a great starter kit, if I may say, or a foundational course, which I wish I would have had years ago, because it really gives you like a step-by-step way on like just pretty much how to get started when you're so lost. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great Friday night. I'm just going to post this, and yeah, I will be posting more. I hope you guys find it helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a good night, everybody.